So you're looking to level up your home workouts, right? Maybe get stronger, build some serious muscle. But figuring out all the home gym gear can feel like a whole workout itself. You want the
Yeah,
smart stuff, the things that give you like maximum results without, taking over your living room or costing a fortune. And that's kind of where loadable dumbbells pop up. And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today.
exactly. Yeah, if lifting heavier at home is the goal, loadable dumbbells are a really smart solution. Think of them like dumbbell handles, but you can slide regular weight plates onto them, the same ones you might already have for a barbell. And that simple idea, well, it gives you tons of flexibility, saves cash down the line, and maybe most importantly for a lot of people, saves a lot of space.
Right. And to help us sort of cut through all the options, we've got this guide, the ultimate guide to the best loadable dumbbells. It just came out April 15th, 2025. And they really did the homework looking at tons of models on Amazon to find the top picks for this year. They were looking at the important stuff. Are they tough? Do they actually work well for exercises? And are they good value?
Yeah, so think of this as like your shortcut. We went through the guide, pulled out the key bits. Our aim is to give you a really clear picture of the best loadable dumbbell options. You'll get why they're smart and who the top contenders are without needing to read pages of reviews yourself.
Okay, let's get into it then. Why are these loadable dumbbells such a good idea for a home gym? The guide makes some pretty strong points.
Well, one of the biggest things is the potential for lifting seriously heavy. The guide actually highlights that some models can handle, get this, over 400 pounds per dumbbell.
Wow, 400 pounds each.
Yeah, that's, serious weight for powerlifters or anyone really pushing strength on rows, presses, that kind of thing. It means you can get into heavy compound lifts without needing a full power rack right away. It's a solid starting point for heavy training at home.
And trying to buy enough fixed dumbbells to get near that weight, forget it. That costs a fortune and you'd need like a whole separate room just for the dumbbell.
Exactly, which leads right into the budget aspect. With loadable handles, you can often use plates you might already own, maybe from a barbell, or you just buy plates gradually. It avoids that huge upfront cost of buying, I don't know, 15, 20 pairs of fixed dumbbells.
That makes way more sense financially.
Precisely. You invest in the handles, then build your weight collection over time. Much easier on the wallet. And the space saving, well, you can't really overstate that, especially if your gym is like a corner of the garage or spare room. The guide points out one adjustable set can replace 15, maybe more, pairs of regular dumbbells.
Yeah.
It's huge for cutting down clutter.
Total game changer if you're tight on space, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we get the why. Heavy lifts, saves money, saves space. Got it. Now, the what. The guide picked out 5 top options for 2025. Let's start with the Titan Fitness Loadable Olympic Dumbbell handles.
Right. These are definitely aimed at the serious lifter. They run about $110 a pair, roughly. Their big plus points are the tough stainless steel build and that massive 400-pound capacity per handle we mentioned. They've got 6.5-inch sleeves, and those are made for Olympic plates, the standard ones with the 2-inch hole you see everywhere.
The ones you use on a barbell.
Exactly. So if you have a barbell setup, you might already have compatible plates.
Yeah.
And they have full knurling on the handles.
Knurling. That's the grippy pattern.
Yeah, have that textured grip. Helps stop the dumbbell slipping, especially when you're lifting heavy and your hands get sweaty. Really important for safety and control.
Sounds solid, but the guide mentioned a couple of things to watch out for, like potential drawbacks.
The collars, the things that hold the plates on, they're usually sold separately.
Yeah.
So add maybe another 20 or 30 bucks. And while 6.5 inches is decent sleeve space, if you're only using really thick bumper plates, the rubber ones,
Yeah.
you might run out of room quicker.
Ah.
But yeah, for power lifters, people wanting heavy-duty gear on a budget, the guide positions these as a really strong contender.
Okay, next one. This is probably one people have heard of. The Bowflex SelectTech 552 Adjustable Dumbbells. Totally different approach here.
Oh yeah, completely different. Price is usually around $399 a pair, but the guide says keep an eye out for Amazon sales. The main appeal is just how convenient they are. You turn a dial and boom, the weight changes. Goes from 5 pounds up to 52.5 pounds per dumbbell.
Wow, that's slick.
It really is. One pair replaces 15 separate sets, massive space savers. And they adjust in small steps, like 2.5 pounds, especially at the lower weights, which is great for, gradually getting stronger, particularly on smaller exercises.
So super easy to change weight quickly.
Exactly. That's why they're super popular with beginners or people doing HIIT workouts where you switch exercises fast.
But I guess there are trade-offs with that convenience.
For sure. That max weight, 52.5 pounds, might not be enough for stronger lifters on things like chest presses or rows.
Hmm.
And the design itself, it's a bit bulkier than a standard dumbbell or those Titan handles.
Right, I've seen them. They look kind of wide.
Yeah, and that bulkiness can sometimes get in the way with certain dynamic moves, like dumbbell cleans or snatches. Range of motion can be limited. So great if space and quick changes are your absolute top priorities, and that 52.5 pounds limit works for you. The speed is also great for supersets.
Hmm.
Less rest time fiddling with plates.
Makes sense. Okay, moving on. PowerBlock Elite EXP Adjustable Dumbbells. These have that unique kind of blocky look.
Yeah, they do stand out visually. Price-wise, there's somewhere between, say, $360 and $545, depends on the set you get. Their cool feature is this pin system. You just pull a selector pin, slide it into the weight stack you want, and you're good to go. Super fast.
Like a weight machine stack almost.
Kind of, yeah. And a big selling point is that they're expandable. They start typically at 5 to 50 pounds per dumbbell, but you can buy add-on kits later to bump that up, potentially all the way to 90 pounds per dumbbell.
90 pounds. That's pretty heavy for an adjustable.
It is. And the block design, while it looks different, is actually pretty compact. Good for saving space.
Right. But the guide mentioned that shape could be a bit awkward sometimes.
Yeah, for some exercises, things like goblet squats, where you might rest the dumbbell end against your chest, that square shape might not feel as natural as a round dumbbell head. And getting up to that full 90 pounds does mean buying the expansion kits, so the total cost gets higher.
Okay.
But still, for intermediate lifters wanting adjustable dumbbells that can go pretty heavy and offer that expansion path, the guide suggests they're a really solid option to check out.
Right, number 4 on the list. REP Fitness QuickDraw Adjustable Dumbbells. The name QuickDraw definitely hints at speed.
Absolutely. That's their headline feature. They're around $299 a pair. They have these lock and load switches, as REP calls them. The idea is lightning-fast weight changes.
Faster than the dials or pins.
Potentially, yeah. Especially good if you're doing things like drop sets, where you reduce the weight quickly between sets, or fast-paced circuits. They also come with these little 2.5-pound micro plates, which is cool for making really small, precise jumps in weight. Plus, the build quality is meant to be solid steel. Pretty durable.
Speed and precision jumps sound good. What's the catch, according to the guide?
Main things are the max weight cap's out at 60 pounds per dumbbell. Again, might be limiting for some advanced lifters. And importantly, they use their own weight system. They're not compatible with standard Olympic plates like the Titan handles.
Yeah, so you can't use plates you might already have.
Exactly, it's a self-contained system. So probably best for people who really value that super fast adjustment for specific training styles and who don't need to go heavier than 60 pounds.
Okay, got it. And finally, number 5. The CAP barbell-coated hex dumbbell set with rack. This sounds a bit more traditional.
Yeah, this one's positioned more as a budget-friendly starter pack. The price works out to about $1.27 per pound, something like that.
Yeah.
The specific set the guide looked at goes from 5 up to 25 pounds per dumbbell, and it comes with a little A-frame rack to store them.
Oh, a rack included is nice.
Yeah, definitely. And they're rubber-coated hex dumbbells. The hex shape stops them rolling around, and the rubber protects your floor and keeps things a bit quieter. Plus, easy to read weight numbers.
Seems like a decent way to start a home gym, maybe? But probably limitations.
That's the idea. The guide does flag a couple of things. The rack itself is apparently quite narrow, so you might risk pinching your fingers putting the weights back if you're not careful.
Ouch. Good heads up.
And the big one for people looking to progress is that 25-pound max weight per dumbbell. That's pretty light for a lot of exercises once you get stronger. So yeah, good for absolute beginners or maybe for lighter accessory work, but not really in the same league as the others for heavy lifting potential.
And when the guide says expandable for this one, it probably just means buying more heavier CIP hex dumbbells separately, right? Not adding weight to these ones.
Exactly. It's not adjustable like the PowerBlocks or loadable like the Titans. You just buy the 30s, 35s, etc. later on as fixed weights.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've run through the top 5 from the guide. Now it also pulled out some key features people should really zone in on when they're trying to decide.
Absolutely. Super important stuff.
Huh.
First up, pretty obvious but crucial, weight capacity. Like we've touched on with each one, if you plan on lifting heavy, you need to check that max weight limit. The guide specifically mentions the Titan handles, again, as the go-to if you think you'll need over, say, 100 pounds per dumbbell.
Right, tailor it to your goals. And then what about changing weights? If you do circuit training or something, speed matters, yeah.
Totally. Adjustment speed is huge for certain workout styles. Those dial systems like Bowflex or the pin system on the PowerBlocks, They're designed to save you time and keep the workout intensity up, much faster than swapping plates on loadable handles.
And compatibility came up too. That seems like a big one, especially with the REP fitness ones.
Yeah, you got to know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Do you need to buy plates separately, like with Titan? Or is it an all-in-one system like Bowflex or PowerBlock? If you've already got a bunch of Olympic plates lying around, those loadable handles like Titan suddenly look very, very cost-effective.
Good point. And lastly, something simple but important: grip, how they feel in your hand.
Definitely. Don't overlook grip comfort and security. The guide highlights that knurling again on the Titan and REP handles. That texture really helps prevent slipping, especially during tough sets when you're sweating. Makes a big difference to safety and how confident you feel lifting.
Yeah, you don't want 50 pounds slipping out of your hand. Okay, so as people are listening, I bet some practical questions are popping up. Did the guide cover any common FAQs?
It did, yeah. A
Uh,
few really common ones, like, do loadable dumbbells actually come with the weight plates? And the answer is generally no, not for the handle-only types like Titan. You supply the plates. But then you have exceptions like Bowflex, where the weights are integrated.
Okay. And what about the cost? Are these adjustable types like Bowflex or PowerBlock actually worth the money? They can seem a bit pricey up front.
The guide argues yes, definitely, for the long-term value. It uses Bowflex as the example, again, replacing maybe 15-plus pairs of dumbbells for under $400. When you factor in the cost of buying all those individual weights and the space they take up, the adjustable option often makes a lot of financial sense.
Yeah, the space saving alone is huge for many people.
It really is.
And that other big question, loadable handles versus the all-in-one adjustable sets, is one definitely better?
Well, the guide lays it out pretty clearly. Loadable handles, like the Titan ones, they're usually cheaper if you already have plates or plan to buy them anyway for a barbell. You're just buying the handles, essentially. The adjustable sets like PowerBlock or Bowflex, you're paying more upfront, but you get that convenience and speed of adjustment. No plate swapping needed.
So it depends on your priorities, budget, and existing gear versus speed and ease of use.
Exactly. No single better, just better for you.
Okay, so putting it all together, what's the final verdict from the guide? Who wins for different needs?
They gave some pretty clear final recommendations. For pure heavy lifting potential, Titan Fitness loadable handles got the nod. If saving space and having maximum convenience is the absolute top priority, they pointed to the Bowflex SelectTech 552. And if you want something versatile with a good weight range that you can grow into by expanding it later, the PowerBlock Elite EXP was their pick.
That's helpful. And did they mention anything about what, regular folks in the fitness community are saying, like real-world feedback?
Yeah, they touched on that briefly, mentioned the Reddit home gym community, Rome Gym. Apparently, Titan and REP Fitness often get props there for being really durable and well-built. Bowflex, on the other hand, seems popular with more casual lifters, or people who just really value that quick adjustment feature.
It's always good to hear what actual users think. Adds another layer.
Definitely. That kind of crowdsourced opinion can be super useful.
So wrapping things up, it really seems loadable and adjustable. Dumbbells offer a fantastic way to build a really versatile and space-saving home gym. We've looked at a bunch of options, from those super heavy-duty Titan handles to the convenient Bowflex and PowerBlock sets, all based on that detailed guide.
Exactly. And the main thing to remember is there isn't one single best dumbbell for everyone. It really hinges on your specific situation. Think about, your lifting goals now, where you want to be later, what your budget looks like, and how much space you actually have.
And maybe here's a final thought to chew on as you make that choice. Don't just think about your current fitness level. Try to picture your future self. What kind of lifts do you realistically enjoy and want to get better at? Picking the right dumbbells for you can honestly make a huge difference in how much you actually enjoy working out at home. And that enjoyment, that's key for sticking with it long term.
That's such a great point. Consistency is everything. And hey, if you want to go even deeper, check out those online communities like the Reddit thread, or just research exercises you like. It can really help narrow things down. But hopefully, this deep dive has given everyone a really solid starting point for making that decision.